So here we are with my new to me Mazda RX-7, and guys, it's a rotary.
We're going to be removing the vinyl on it, which we're going to have to be very careful about because the car was repainted prior to installing the vinyl.
Paint was going to get pulled up one way or another, and the vinyl was not staying on the car, so literally better to pull the Band-Aid off now than to leave the vinyl on and not like the way that the car looks.
We're here today with the other RX-7. We finished all the prep work on it and we're wrapping it in 3M's Gloss Sunflower Yellow.
This is what I want the car to be. It's not like I didn't get a chance to express myself. This is what I want it to be. This second episode in the Rotary FD build series is even more breakneck pace than the first one. It follows events that have transpired literally just over this past week, and as you watch this video, the modifications you're seeing have just been performed. And I had a very pressing reason to hurry so much with getting everything done, and it'll all be explained by the end of the video. Monday started with a quick trip to the local dealership where I brought a fresh set of winter tires, which are going to go onto the 7. From there, it was time to go visit a friend we haven't seen for a while. So I do feel pretty bad that this is how you guys are finding out that the Evo is broken. It happened months ago. I was gonna make a video about it, but I don't know. I haven't done anything with the car. There's not enough content to like make a video. The engine just oil starved at VIR.
It's taking a little bit. It's making me nervous.
Yeah, I hear it. It's okay. We're gonna get it rebuilt. That's not what this video is about. What this video is about is the RX-7, and in order to kind of shuffle around the wheels and tires I need in order to get the snow tires on the RX-7, which is a weird sentence. I'm cannibalizing the Advan GTs off of the Evo. And I will say I did kind of just want to see what they look like on the RX-7. As you might have guessed, for all the things the FD is, it's not a great cargo hauler, so I took one wheel to the dealer and went to get my truck. Along the way, I stopped to admire the Advan GTs. If, as the winter tires would suggest, I'm planning to drive the 7 during the more inclement months, something I was considering is that Japanese cars do tend to rust, so I decided to try and do something about that. Okay, so now we are about to head to Charlottesville, Virginia, and it is raining a lot. But we can kind of walk through the process of what it's like to drive a rotary around on the street. The car cruises really nicely. The only things that are really a hassle about it to drive are the fact that it has no power steering and there's no cruise control, but on the freeway, the gears are nice and long in the RX-7, cruising 70 miles an hour at just a shade over 3,000 RPM. AFR sits at about 13.3, 13.5. Throttle tip-in is really nice. Honestly, very, very drivable car on the street. So doing a little haul like an hour and a half away or something to Charlottesville is no big deal. Literally moments after recording that commentary, the car became a little bit less drivable. So after everything I just said about this car being very drivable, the wiper motor seems to not want to do its job anymore. My windshield wipers are just not turning on. So I guess a wiper motor has been added to the parts list.
So today on Ben's K-Swap FD video, I'm just kidding.
We're gonna be putting this thing up in the air, do some undercarriage cleaning, and we're gonna kind of protect it afterwards. Really, you can actually still see the Montego Blue right here, just the the factory overspray. So it's actually not all that dirty, but it definitely can use a good cleaning.
Take the exhaust off so we can get the stuff that's being hidden. That premix.
Why'd you dye your hair blonde?
If Kanye became president, I wouldn't have to dye it. Yeah, I made a bet. So since he lost, I had to dye my hair.
That's a good bet.
Yeah, I'm a gambler. Take it out of your way, Ben. Turn it.
Wow, holy crap, this is so heavy, dude. This is legitimately like 35 or 40 pounds, I think. Holy cow. Go through and pressure wash it pretty good. Probably do another round of all-purpose cleaner everywhere and then start steaming everything.
So while the guys clean the underbody of the RX-7, we've actually got a little replacement for the catback that we took off right here. This is a titanium exhaust system, the little turn-down dolphin tip from my buddies at Garage Alpha, and they make a bunch of parts for FD RX-7s as well as Mark IV Supras, so kind of like the unobtainium JDM stuff. But yeah, this is significantly lighter than the system that we just took off. I would guess by about 20 pounds.
It has factory undercoating, so we're just going to go and touch up all the exposed metal that is scraped away of the factory rubber coating.
The previous owner, Dylan, again needs to be given big props for keeping the car in such great shape. For a car from Pennsylvania, there was barely any rust to be found, and any potential problem areas we sanded down and covered in 3M rubberized undercoating. And before we installed the Garage Alpha titanium catback, I am a child at heart and couldn't resist starting up the car without any catback.
It has been a couple hours. We got new exhaust on, we got the underbody totally cleaned, and we sprayed a couple of potential problem areas. We weren't able to do the wheel wells. Why weren't we able to do the wheel wells, guys?
We forgot the wheel lock.
Because I didn't bring the wheel locks, the lug nut keys. So that's me being an idiot. But I'll do that when I get home. All I need to do is jack it up and take one of the wheels off, or all the wheels off. But yeah, really stoked with the new exhaust. I think it looks leagues better than the old Greddy, and it's legitimately like 20 pounds lighter. So I'm gonna pull it down and I get to drive it back home, and should be pretty fun.
Thursday was a day for me to be able to take care of the little things, just fiddling around in the garage. Today I'd be able to, amongst other things, diagnose the wiper issue and fit on the new tires.
So one of the things that I'm gonna have going while I'm working on other parts of the car is I noticed that my aftermarket turn signals in the front bumper were starting to separate. So I could see water getting in there and creating fog and whatnot. So I've just pulled the lens off, and I'm gonna dry them out completely and then put some waterproof sealant along where the lens mates up, and that way they won't come out should we hit any inclement weather at any point. So while those are dry and setting, one thing that I am gonna do is actually do another oil change. Now in the last video you guys saw that I went to a synthetic Valvoline oil, and that's not actually always a bad idea in rotaries. I did some research on it and it should be okay. But there are optimal things to do depending on what setup you have. Now Mazda knew that they were never going to be able to convince a broad customer base to stop and fill up their car with an additional premix every time they stop to get gas like I do. So they came up with a system called the oil metering pump, and basically what that does is it takes oil from the oiling system and puts it directly into the rotary housing to lubricate the apex seals as the engine runs. That means that the engine is intended to burn oil from the factory, and then you just top off the oil now and again. Synthetic oil doesn't burn as well as conventional oil. So while it is actually great to run synthetic oil on a rotary engine that has had the oil metering pump blocked off, using it on an engine that's still using the OMP, it doesn't work quite as well. And I was actually seeing when I was stopping to fill up for gas, my oil level wasn't decreasing when I switched to synthetic oil.
After all these tiny little tweaks, the winter tires went on. 255/35 Bridgestone Blizzaks. I bet you'll never guess why these are going on the car. I'm sitting on the ground outside of my house with easily the best and most important mod for the RX7 that I've gotten so far here. Let's put it on.
Something like an 80s to 90s Japanese license plate here. My notes on this one say this is from Tochigi Prefecture, Utsunomiya area. This came from. So the real big thing here is for Ben's RX7. This class code 5 here is for cars with engines less than 2 liters, and I believe that's a 1.3 liter 2 rotor in there. Yeah. So that works out nicely, but the 2 digits is ideal for the era of that car as well. Most areas in Japan moved to 3-digit class codes sometime in like the late 90s, early 2000s. So this is a little more fitting than otherwise might have been.
After visiting my buddy Chris and collecting the Japanese plate, I returned to Gears and Gasoline headquarters for the last few goodies.
So these are the 7 color options we have. Red is our newest. True Burn's our best seller, but I don't know how crazy you're wanting to go with the RX7, so we can go with something simple like the polished or the black if you don't want to stand out too much. Benefits of those is it'll just look clean and it won't rust. Same with all the other ones, it's just going to pop a lot more. So it's whatever your goal is in the build.
Dress-up bolts are office mates sell titanium automotive hardware designed to make your project pop, and I wanted a little bit more of that pop, particularly for the feed wing and my license plates. I'm officially out of time. I took the 7 up to the mountains for a quick shakedown run because tomorrow we're getting ready to leave.
So, as many of you might have guessed, Ben and I have been modifying our RX-7s, getting them ready for something. And what we're getting them ready for is another massive cross-country road trip. This one is again going to be sponsored by Advance Auto, but yeah, we're taking our RX-7s on a huge road trip. And you guys will find out more about it very soon. Look for those videos coming in 2021, so you'll have that to look forward to. This is the end of the build series for now. But not the end of it permanently. Obviously, there's still a lot more that I want to do for the RX-7. There's a lot more I want to do in 2021. But yeah, hope you guys enjoy where it's at right now. I'm having a ton of fun with it. So look forward to seeing you guys in the road trip videos. Yeah, stay tuned.